All right, welcome back as we continue live right here on Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani, Chris Mueller. You can call us any night. We're on the air 7 nights a week right here at that number you see on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Call it, and let's start talking about some of the items in sports. Chris, before we do that and get to the lines, I'm going to talk about last night's game. It was a good game. I thought the Penguins played very well. Could have won their 7th in a row. They ran into a rookie goaltender who was really good, made one of the saves of the year so far on Colton Sevier, but they lost Malkin. Now Teddy Bluger is out longer term. They're very thin down the middle right now, and I'm going to be anxious to hear how long Malkin is out. The good thing is he did return, so you got to believe that it wasn't as serious, but you never know.
Yeah, I think the good news right now in the immediate term is that it seems like Jared McCann is close to being back. In fact, Bob Airy on our show today on the PM team said as much, that he expects McCann back pretty soon, given what he's seeing and hearing. But Malkin being out for a long term kind of situation would be very difficult for them. And I know they've surmounted these kind of problems in the past, but right as he was getting going too and starting to become a force really that made them very difficult to play against, it would be tough to lose him. If they do lose Malkin and Bluger, though, for a long time, then the most important guy, I think, becomes Mike Sullivan. Can you get your guys shorthanded, down important players, to buy into that overall team concept, to buy into playing disciplined, buttoned-up hockey and trying to win 2-1 and 3-2 more often than maybe 5-4, 4-3. I think that would be their salvation or their attempt at it if those guys are out long term.
Let's go to Jim and Carrick, who joins us right now on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
We're doing great, thanks.
I got a question for you and Chris. I went to the casino down Rivers yesterday, and I bet $100 on the Penguins to win the Stanley Cup, and the odds were 2,100 to 1. And I like Illinois to win the tournament in the ACC tournament, NCAA tournament.
NCAA, yeah. The ACC would be an upset if that happened.
That would be a hell of a job by Illinois to win the ACC tournament. I like the value at 21 to 1 on the Penguins to win the Cup. Why not? I mean, if they get in there remotely, if they get in, first of all, you still have to throw that caveat in. They're a factor, and if they get in healthy, they could be a team nobody wants to see. Hockey's a big crapshoot. I don't hate the odds there, given the way the team has played lately, that they're still that long, which is a good thing for you. Illinois, I don't know. I'm looking at the NCAA tournament more and more, Bob. Did you fill out your entire bracket yet? Because I'm still agonizing over it. I want to find an excuse not to pick Gonzaga because it's boring.
It is.
But it's really tough for me to imagine them losing. I think Illinois is one of the teams that could do it. I think Ohio State's kind of a dark horse. It's just so hard for me to pick against Gonzaga because they are stacked.
And they are. And they've beaten everybody they're supposed to beat, including Virginia by 25 points or something earlier in the season. People say, well, Virginia's in that bracket. Watch out. Tony Bennett might be able. Well, he didn't the first time. And this team just scores. It plays good defense. It's deep. It's got three-point shooting. I like their team a lot.
It's got Jalen Suggs, too.
Yeah.
It's got Suggs on that team. And
Kispert's
Mike DeCourcy over at the Sporting News.
Inside. Those guys are really good.
Right. I mean, he made a great point about Suggs. Usually Gonzaga's been one of those teams that's really good because they have an overall team concept. They have NBA players, don't get me wrong, but Suggs is like a true blue chip type of guy. I mean, outside of Cade Cunningham at Oklahoma State, there's not really many players in the country where Suggs wouldn't be the best guy on the court. So I think that's a huge factor that they have going for them this particular year.
West Virginia is a 3 seed. They ended the season badly, but I still think they have the kind of team that can go on a little bit of a roll. Do you anticipate that at all with them?
I think they've got a shot at it. I think for them, I look at them and the way they play at all times, and with a Huggins team, no matter what their identity might morph into in the middle of the year or at the end of the year, if they're playing well or they're playing poorly, I think about the intensity and the defense that he coaches all the time. I just keep coming back to that. I don't think they have the greatest draw in the world, but I absolutely could see them getting to the Sweet 16. I don't love them as making a much deeper run than that, but I think the Sweet 16 is absolutely reasonable, maybe even the Elite 8.
Yeah, and then you never know. You get hot shooting and things can happen. Let's go out to Blaisville. We have Randy joining us right now.
Hey, Bob.
What's up, Randy?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, I've been watching you guys on there for 57 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
And you guys are doing a pretty good job of everything.
Well, 57 years of experience, it will make you be ready for just about anything.
Cookie was hosting those shows back then, wasn't he? That was Cookie's thing back in the day.
Let's go to Jerry in Pittsburgh. Hey, Jerry, what's up?
Yeah, if you think about it, now say I've been following I've been following free agency through my phone on this one site I go to, and I know that Juju ain't get signed, but I'm pretty sure I know why. Look at Terrell Owens when he took the pom-poms from the girls and started shaking them. He got cut.
So you're talking about dancing on
He still found
logos.
jobs. I mean, T.O. still found jobs.
Yeah.
Juju is not seen. I guarantee you. I know we're in the fishbowl here, and some people hate it and some people love it. He is not seen as some sort of horrific problem child around the league. I think, if anything, you want to know one number that might be scaring teams off? 8.6. His yards per catch this year. And I don't even think that's his fault necessarily. I think he made a ton of tough catches. I thought he was a blood and guts guy for them, a real tough guy, like the way that this town tends to rally around. But they just were a pop gun offense, and I think that hurt him individually in the way other teams are looking at him.
Right. In the beginning part of his career, I see him still going 99 yards in Detroit, out racing a secondary, showing you his speed. That element of his game kind of disappeared because of the game plan mostly. But you're right. He made all the critical plays when they had to have the yards and first downs on third downs. He was the guy they went to, and I think there's a lot to be said for that. Plus, he's still young, Chris. I think he's 23, isn't he, or going to be 24?
24, yeah.
Okay, he has
he's 24,
a lot.
But he's such a weird evaluation, Bob. The first 2 years, you say, okay, Antonio Brown's there. He's the alpha dog on that team. Then Antonio Brown's gone. Then Ben Roethlisberger's gone. The numbers not just plummet, they crater, and there were other receivers that had better numbers. And then last year with Ben back and no Antonio Brown for the first time, he wasn't the threat. Let me put it this way. He wasn't the threat that scared opposing defensive coordinators the most. That was probably Claypool or even Deontay Johnson. And I just think that's hard for teams to figure out.
I agree. And we have more calls on the way. We want to hear from you. 412-575-2600. That's the number to call. We'll continue right here with the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. It's live 7 nights a week. Oh, yeah, we're live. 57 years in existence right here on Pittsburgh CW.